Subscribers, guess what? The channel is monetized. We have enough subscribers so that the channel can be monetized. Actually, it's already monetized. I'm so grateful to all of you that subscribed, all of you that are still subscribing, and right now, I can't say Pink Friday nails, but these are from my press online, kinda sorta, in the making. Do you like them? Anyway, got me some shrimp, some chicken gizzards, and some fries. So happy. But anyway, I just hopped on this video to tell you real quick that the channel is monetized. We hit over 1,000 subscribers currently. Like it reached 1,000 subscribers, and then more subscribers have subscribed since then. So I'm very grateful. And again, we'll talk soon. I was gonna make this a mukbang, but I'm not sure yet because I think I have more content to record. Give me a little sec. Or a little minute. So, you guys, right now, I did some shrimp and chicken gizzards, put a little wine, and it's early in the morning. Who else is doing that? Who else eat like that? Be cooking early in the morning and drinking wine. I have water in my bedroom. Alkaline water. Look about alkaline water. So that balance out. Maybe not all. Maybe like the things that are like not so healthy. Anyway. How many of you were paying attention when I said Mercury being in retrograde was going to bring certain energies, right? That Stella Rosa, y'all know about that Stella Rosa? My mama talking about something, that Stella Rosa, it ain't that strong like that. I don't know, it make you feel like a bougie bitch. Anyway. A lot of things have been coming up about, like, well, what I've noticed in the media and just in people's energy. People be acting sometimes, some people act a donkey when it's like around the Mercury in retrograde. But anyway, I seen when NLE Chopper had said something on the internet.
Hey man, I promise you, I ain't making this video because I'm offended or I feel some type of way, but man, it's funny how like back in the 70s, the 60s, men used to dance, bro, and it was like fun. It was happy. Nobody looked at them like they weren't straight, or nobody looked at them like they weren't gangsters, or nobody looked at them like they was less of a man. But you feel me? During the 70s, the 60s, the 80s, and a little bit of the 90s, a lot of people, you feel me, was dancing, and it was culture. Towards the 2000s and like 2010s, and I feel like I don't know what happened between that time period. I love for someone to comment on it and let me know what happened. But now it seems as if when men dance or when men show themselves having fun, it's less masculine, or they're not straight, or they're not certified G's, or certain all these different things. Man, my whole motive, my whole thing is bring fun back to music. You feel me? So when you see me doing whatever, that don't mean I'm less of a nigga that'll whoop your ass, or I'm less of a nigga that'll shoot you. That don't mean I'm less of that type, man. Cause I ain't gonna lie, that part of me is hidden somewhere as well. But that can come out. But you feel me? Why do we gotta bring that out when we know that these things lead to two places? Ain't there enough niggas dying now? It's enough niggas going to jail. Y'all always want to be gangsters, and then I be the one gotta pay the funerals. I be the one gotta sit by the mama when they crying. Feel me? Y'all ain't tired of that. Y'all ain't ready to have some fun. Y'all ain't seeing all the turmoil they be going on behind all this. Y'all want to hear murder rap all day shit. Everybody want a shot of flow from Chopper. I don't mind giving it to you, but I'm gonna give it to you with a balance. You feel me? I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna be versatile. I'm gonna give you this. Then I might drop a little bit just to let y'all know that I ain't forgot about y'all. But feel me? I'm gonna always expand my wings and go to different territories and try different genres, try to do different type of music, because at the end of the day, I'm not finna hold myself in a box, and I'm damn sure not finna be put in no box, a cell, or put in a box, a casket, trying to live all this gangster shit for y'all to forget about me and be on the next motherfucker dick. Cause I'm watching a whole lot of that. Nigga die, nigga go to jail, y'all on the next motherfucker. But y'all swear y'all want that gangster shit all day. Man, I got gangster shit going on in real life. I do not have to rap about gangster shit no more. I got gangster shit really going on. This motherfucker's really out here dying. This motherfucker's really out here going to jail. So I'm trying to figure out, when did it come to a point when men have fun, when men want to dance. I can't even lock it into no race. I can't even just say black men, but highlighting black men though, for real, because that's where it's really occurring at. When black men started to have fun, where's programs y'all to say that they less of a man, or they less of a gangster, or they ain't straight males? You feel me? I don't understand that everybody want to call somebody this and that. Man, have some fun, man. Live your life, be free, man. It ain't about thugging and mugging, clutching up in public all day. We can do that. We can always do that. But now, bro, if you go look at how people used to be in the clubs in the 70s, and then you go look in the clubs how we are now, bro, in the 70s, everybody say it's cocaine. Everybody went on coke. In the 70s, motherfuckers was dancing, moving. Black men, and them niggas will still get on your ass. MC Hammer, dancing ass nigga. You would not fuck with MC though. MC was a real street nigga. And nobody back then looked at him like he was this or that. And they was a dancing nigga, and he'll press your ass. So don't let shit get misconstrued, you feel me? But fast forward now, we got niggas all stiff in the club. That's all I need to do. Bottle. Man, get your line, man. Man, listen, man. Them hoes like to have fun. You feel me? All that stiff shit. When a nigga like me come around, she is going, no cap. She don't want to be with your boring ass. She want to come to a nigga that gon' make a whole laugh. Feel me? Then when it's time to get out, like, we on that. What we on? What we doing? What we doing? Fight? What? I'm on that too. But until they get to that point, I'm vibing. I'm all cheesing, cause life good. What we got to frown for? We can't dance no more. We can't have fun. Black man, insecure black man. We can't have fun no more. Damn, that's how I done got. Life done got like that for y'all. But me, I'ma live my life, man. You know what's going on, man. And that little Chopper. And still on the same shit if a nigga play. What? Same motion, no cap.
So as you can see, well, y'all really can't see, but the food, I have some more in here. I was saving just in case my great aunt decide to just in case she decide to stop by after she gets off from work. But anyway, you seen the clip of NLE Choppa speaking about how, you know, well, what it's been like, and not even really what it's been like. He didn't really like touch on the subject, but you know, as far as like gangsters and, you know, and rap culture and things like that. And I think that it can already be difficult being African American in the United States. But just be aware that right now Mercury is in retrograde, and a lot of people during these energetic shifts in the world, they can tend to act how they be acting. And I mean, bring your awareness to it kind of can help, you know. It can help soothe, you know, your questions around why people act why they are acting the way that they do or whatever. But anyway, I thought that, you know, even for me, when I think about, oh, I have these long nails on, are people going to judge me for having these nails on? Of course they are. They're either going to like it, they're either going to disagree with it, they're going to say, oh, hell no. Like, they have that sound on TikTok. It was like, the dude was like, oh, hell no.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
They don't fuck with, you know what I'm saying? I understand that. But I think that you also have to be aware that there are awakened people on this planet, and there are people that may not awaken in a lifetime because they are meant to be not as conscious, or not conscious at all, or just a little teeter. But the reason I brought up my nails is because there was fear around being on camera with them. But the reason that I say that there was fear about it is because I was thinking, oh, I don't want to lose subscribers if I have these nails on. And many of the subscribers have watched maybe their favorite, like Nicki Minaj on the channel. Maybe they've seen the video of Lil Mabu because that's getting a lot of attraction. But I think that it was important to speak about it because of the simple fact. I think about how Saucy Santana is a rapper, and he wears the nails and, you know, has a beard. And a lot of times gay men or LGBTQI people of color get the question, do you want to be a girl, don't you? You want to be a girl, don't you? And I honestly kind of think in my mind, when people are asking questions like that, well, if you wear, like, sometimes that can happen from girls, from women. And I think, okay, so if you have a day where you're wearing men clothes or wearing baggy clothes, does that mean you want to be a boy? If you wear a cap because something happened with the lace front, does that mean that you want to be a boy? And so I kind of ask myself, or like I ask source consciousness, because we all are a part of the collective, which is also source consciousness. I kind of have this question of, why do people like mentally ask themselves these things, you know? Yeah, I mean, even think about like when I said that the energy is weird around times like this. And I mean, granted, there are people like this that do these things when there aren't energetic shifts. But just think about how that guy, that kid or student slapped his teacher. She was a transgender woman.
Oh! Stop fucking playing with me, bitch ass nigga. What?
You think that affected me any?
You want me to hit you again? You want me to hit you again?
I don't want it.
You want me to hit you again?
I don't want
You want me
it.
to hit you again?
Oh my God.
Oh! God, stop fucking playing with me. I told your dumb ass I'll knock those dumb ass glass off your fucking face.
And do I look like I
What
care?
the fuck wrong with you? What you gonna do? Still sit in that chair, nigga? You was a bitch. My granny, nigga, stop fucking playing with me. What the fuck wrong with you? Bitch ass nigga. Ain't nobody even come and you just got slapped. Bitch, go back to teaching. I'm soft ass.
And I also want to talk on that too. And the reason that I am talking on these topics is because I had a subscriber that said, you know, that she wanted to hear some commentary. So I thought that it was important to do that, you know, like, anyway. He slaps his teacher, and I'm thinking, wow, you know, when I was younger, my mom didn't have to whoop me. I think my mom was mad because she didn't have to whoop me or give me a whooping, or what they call, whatever you call a beat down. My mom didn't have to give me a beat down when I was younger. I think that she gave me a beat down when I was younger. What they call it a beat down is because I think it was more or less, she was just like, you better not be doing this and you better not be doing that. Just kind of like to fit in. I wouldn't even say to fit in, but I think that it was more or less like, I don't want you turning out like them other kids. And even though she didn't have to worry about those things, I think there was more or less like, well, I'm gonna make sure your ass ain't doing shit. Like, you know, I make sure you ain't doing nothing like that. But anyway, I think that there were so many other kids that were, you know, worse off. And when I say worse off, I mean like, for a student to slap a teacher is showing that how they're being raised, like how children are being raised. I even seen this, I think this it's a baby that's like a rapper. It's like a little child, like 5, 6, or 8, something like that. Maybe 8, and or 7, and he can't even add simple numbers together. And I know we all have our times when we, you know, we may forget something, but, you know, to see a young child that young and not be able to add something like 5 plus 4 into struggle is showing that our focus is on the wrong thing, because a lot of times, especially in the African American community, we focus on things about like queer people and African American against African people. Now that's kind of like, it's like, wow. I seen that on T.S. Madison's Fag Talk. I seen that on her show, and I thought, wow, you know, these are actual things that people are talking about. Like, these are things that people are having conversations about. And a lot of times experiences like these can either make a person want to minimize themselves, or it is an experience for them to become a better being. For example, I haven't worked a 9-to-5 job since, or in the most recent time that I've worked a 9-to-5 job was 2020, maybe. I quit most of my jobs in 2019. Yeah. I quit most of my jobs in 2019. So 2019 was like pretty much the last time that I worked a 9-to-5 job. And I had a lot of people that say, you're going to get a job. And I think that for me, Spirit was guiding me through experiences that I needed to have to awaken me to the person that I'm becoming and the person that I am now. And I've had experiences that, or especially in the past, that I wouldn't say were wanted, but were they somewhat necessary? Yes, because I learned how to be present through those experiences. But that's just like I said in February during Black History Month. What can we do as a collective of African American people, or a collective of beings, you know, because it goes it goes further than just the race or the ethnic background, because truly at the core of our being, none of these things exist. I see our core being a orb of light, and that being our true identity, or whatever the soul may look like to you. It could look like little sparklies all together. It could look like little sparklies. I remember something that I wanted to speak about because I saw it, where this parent had to come to she had to come to the school, and because her child was, you know, just not behaving in class, and the way that she beat him, he got a beat down in front of his teachers. And I think that it was his mom's way of saying, y'all gonna see him get a beat down in front of his, she was telling, basically showing the teachers that her child was going to get a beat down in front of the teachers, so that they wouldn't call her ever again, because the way that she beat him, it was just like the way that, you know, the mother beat her child. It just wasn't, it didn't even deserve to be recorded and posted. But of course it was on Twitter, and if I can find the video, I'll show it to you. But I think that it was also like, young parents do have it kind of difficult to raise a child and have to get off from work to also, you know, discipline their child. You know, she probably just ain't want them to mess up her child. She didn't want her child to interrupt her bag. But I think that it was still kind of like the way that she did it, right? I could tell that she was doing it so that she was just like, and you miss it. And she was just, it was also like the word she was saying, like calling him the N-word and stuff like that. Like, we have to be careful about how we communicate with people. And I say we because we are all a collective of souls learning who we are. And it's kind of like, if we hide these things and never talk about it the way that it truly is, it's basically like we're trying to mask the truth of what the reality is. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, learning from each other. And I kind of, for a while, was hesitant about kids after I awakened, because I thought, wow, just like T.S. Madison said, she said, they are a little human. They are a small child, and they have a soul. And, you know, a job as a parent is your awareness, you're aware that you're enlightened, but you're also allowing them to have the freedom to have choice. But because they are a child, you have to teach them, you know, the ways of the world. And without, you know, I think, of course, for a parent it's different, because once you birth the child, it's yours. Especially like with women, the child is in their womb. And of course there are some women that it just ain't shit women. We can talk about the men all day, but there's some ain't shit women too. And you think about how a woman carries a child and has that bond with her child, and would do anything to protect her child. But at the same time, your child has freedom of choice. And we aren't meant to take choices away from a soul. But at the same time, as a parent, you have to discipline the child and kind of you have to guide them to what is right. So for a while, I think I was fearful of that, because I thought, wow, if I have a child, could I possibly collect karma for teaching the child or guiding the child incorrectly? But life is like that, because there are so many souls that are adult or that are in adult bodies that still maybe they aren't awakened. So I mean, it's kind of like the cycle of life. Everything is everything. A person could collect karma that way. So I realized that was just fear-based thinking. Yeah. I love lemon pound cake, but this is called lemon ice cake. I recently added Facebook back to my phone, or the app back to my phone. So if you would like to add me as a friend on Facebook, it's my name, Kevin Hunter Bates. And yeah. You know, TikTok is talking about being shut down. Yeah, I was going to talk about shadow ban, shadow ban accounts and things like that, but I'll probably do that for another day. I think that I was going to speak about how during the time of Mercury being in retrograde, a lot of times people tell you, oh, just don't get into those relationships that are like cycle. Don't get into those cycle relationships. But I think that if we don't allow ourselves to experience certain people, then we don't really get the lesson. We're just kind of like running from the lesson and saying that we've learned from it. Like we've learned from it and we're just not going back to them. But I think sometimes you have to kind of maybe like message that person to see, has that person really changed. And then when you notice that the patterns are still kind of the same, then you realize it's time to move on. It's time to realize that spirit was telling you the truth about that person. That person hadn't changed. A lot of friends hadn't changed, But I think what has been difficult as a medium or a psychic medium is just the loneliness on the path, and realizing that every being that you pretty much come in contact with is either there to help you awaken or you're there to help them awaken. And it's kind of like, a lot of times you're taught to not think of it as being alone, but think of it as loneliness. But it's still difficult, And really, when you think about it, you're not lonely either, because you have the divine there. But when you're wanting that physical intimacy and stuff like that, in spirit is saying, save your body. And a lot of times people think of intimacy, but I did say physical intimacy, right? Yeah. So when you are wanting, the affection from someone, and you're wanting it how you're wanting it, and then when spirit does send someone and it's not exactly what you want, because spirit is trying to show you, oh, I have somebody for you. I just need you to be on your task. It's kind of like, well, I oftentimes think sometimes like, well, what's the point of a relationship if like, I don't want to say it that way and it sound like, oh, well, what's the point of doing the work? And I don't want it to sound like that. But I think that it's important to also be open with what I'm saying. I oftentimes think about, if I am going to make sure that everything that I could ask another person for in a relationship, if I'm going to make sure that I am capable of doing that for myself, what is the point of the relationship when it's there? If you understand what I mean. Like, because besides the actual sexual intimacy between you and another person, it's like knowing that you are them and they're you, because everything is everything. It's kind of like, what is then the purpose of the experience of another person? But then when you also know how important people are to your experience and how they help you, like even unconscious beings, you kind of like, okay. So it's just kind of like that give and take thing, even energetically. You give and take energetically. Yeah, and a lot of people call it the game. I remember what was so important that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about how I even wanted like a partner for social media to make content with. But I also realized that the content that I would be making would kind of, I want to say this. I wanted to have two channels. One for like content that kind of was like a relief from feeling like, oh, I can only do spiritual things on this channel. I can only adhere to, I heard adhere, not adhere, but like I didn't want it to feel like I had to just only be into one niche. And I know that a lot of times when you're speaking about spiritual things, there are some people that are going to gravitate to it. There's some people that aren't. And I wanted these two channels so that I could have like some relief from just always being spiritually based in what I'm doing. But I think that I also have that conscious knowing that even in doing another channel like that, there would be some spiritual knowledge on that channel too. Anyway, I wanted to, and I hear like I heard back trace, kind of like go back into old patterns, and I just didn't want it to seem like that. But at the same time, I had needed some money. But now that I have this channel monetized, it's like I did it. I was able to do it. Granted, all the content that that truly gained attention wasn't purely, I wouldn't say it wouldn't be my content, because, and that's what I want to say. It was, a lot of it was Nikki's content that gained a lot of subscribers, and a lot of it was like, now when it first happened, when I first seen a lot of growth, it was actually it was either the Miss Netta and Charles video or the Summer Walker video, and that's where I've seen a lot of growth for the channel. But I also want to say that there was a Summer Walker video, there was Miss Netta and Charles videos, and there was some Nikki videos, and a lot of attraction was gained through those videos. And I kind of questioned, well, I do some of the same things as them. Well, Miss Netta and Charles. Like, I'm eating in front of a camera. But I just realized that being obedient it's a different path. Like, it's just a different experience. Something that you don't really understand until you experience it. Anyway, child. Some of the people I wanted to work with, I seen that they probably wanted money, but was they gonna go after it like I was gonna go after it? Maybe, maybe not. Sometimes when I hit them up, they're like, they understand how the money could happen like that. But as far as being active on actually trying to collab and create these ideas, I realized that I was lonely or with the universe in the creation of what I was going to create. So it just kind of felt like aloneness or loneliness, because I realized that even though I was reaching out to certain people and wanting to work with them and sharing my ideas, God was in some type of way just continuing to tell me, You got it on your own. You can do it. And so it was really hard to believe that, you know, when you hear things like, oh, you can sing, so sing. Oh, y'all know a song I enjoy singing. And I don't know why I never thought of this song when people say, see, you know, when they say you can sing, I heard see. When they say you can sing, right? This song, right? The song by Tony Braxton. Hold on, the string on my. Unbreak my heart, say you love me again. Undo this hurt you caused when you walked out the door and walked out of my life. Uncry these tears that I've cried so many nights. Unbreak my heart. I love that song, but I love to imitate Tony singing that song. That song, yes. Unbreak my heart, sweet darling. Come back and say you love me. Unbreak my heart, sweet darling. That song is just beautiful. Yeah. But a lot of times when I was doing videos like that, I would get like a couple of likes every now and then. So I think, you know, being obedient, I know that you have to continue. It's like you have to continue believing that you're going to receive what you're wanting. So just like with Tabitha Brown, you know, she was obedient on her path, and you know, now she has all of these things. And I think that I have to not look at it as like a half glass full type of thing. Or now I'm going to say that, like, I'm not envious or what do they call it? Or jealous. You know, I'm just, I for a long time, I didn't want to feel like the burden that I was being called by not having a job. You know, I didn't want to feel that way. But at the same time, I think that it was also a test for those people to see how they were going to treat me. And really, there's been one person that's been there financially. And I was telling my dad, I, for a long time, didn't feel like I could depend on anyone financially. And I lost a lot of weight in the past because of that, because I wasn't asking people for food when I needed food. I wasn't asking people to help me financially, because I did have family members that were, you know, saying, well, shit, if you don't want to eat, there's him, and things like that. They weren't understanding. And, you know, just knowing these things, knowing a more deeper experience of what was being said and what was being experienced, and kind of made me feel like, what is the purpose of the experience? And then I realized that sometimes not only are people tests for you, but you are test for them, seeing how they are going to treat you. And although they can think that you are having, they can think that you aren't doing well, but in reality, it's a reflection of how or what can happen to them, if that makes sense. Like, people try to project what they think is going on in your life, and really it's a reflection of how they feel they should be treated, or how they feel spirit should treat them. And that's just the truth of what it is. Before I fully close out this part of the video, I just want to say that be aware of spiritual ego, because it can come up a lot when you have had many awakenings. And so spiritual ego can show up as you just thinking that you are more conscious than another being, or you know a lot of spiritual knowledge versus another spiritual being, and that can be true. But allow the experience to show you what you truly know to be true and what you truly are, like when you're showing up in that way. Because I remember a lot of times when I would see people online kind of being in the same energies that I was in when I was becoming vegan. When people would sneeze and cough, they say, "Oh, that's because they eat that pork." But even when I was plant-based, I remember times when spirit would sneeze me or cough me. And I realized that at that moment, spirit has true control of our experience. And so with that being said, just be aware of how you show up in others' experience and how you judge them. Because although majority of the time you're right, spirit has the final say on you being right. And when you're trying to when you go after other spiritual beings and say, "Oh, well, this is what I learned, and I know what you're saying. Yeah, that's a little bit right, but what I'm saying is like it's true, and that's the only way it is." And again, that can be true, but spirit has the last say. So try to forgive people that make minor mistakes in readings with or with things that they may put online, because it can honestly just be sometimes an easy mistake. We've all made them. We're all human, but we're all spiritual beings having this human experience. So with that being said, now I can close out this part of the video.